Stories are at the center of human nature. As long as humans have existed, we have been telling stories. As time has passed, these stories have grown in complexity, depth, and form, changing to fit our rapidly evolving world. From theater to books to movies to Twitter posts, each medium shapes the way our stories are told. Video games are a unique format for storytelling. They're a mixing pot of almost every other form of storytelling: spoken words, written text, and all kinds of sounds and images. However, their unique format allows for massively increased interactivity and immersion for the player. Three major ways that video game design influences narrative storytelling are game mechanics, environmental storytelling, and player choice. I have chosen examples from some of my favorite games to demonstrate these elements and the impact they can have on narrative. One example of a game's mechanics influencing its narrative can be found in one of my favorite games, Celeste. Celeste tells the story of a young woman named Madeline on her quest to climb Celeste Mountain. Along the way, she meets new friends and faces unexpected challenges while battling her doubts about her ability. The player can move Madeline using several different mechanics: walking, jumping, climbing, and dashing. When combined, these mechanics are just enough to help Madeline reach her goal at the top of the mountain. The only problem is the difficulty. The mountain is cold, steep, and brutal. Madeline must navigate the increasing difficulty, fighting through each new area as the trail takes her through hotels and cliffs and into her nightmares. As a player, this can be a frustrating experience. It is meant to be a frustrating experience. You aren't a mountain climber. But that doesn't mean you can't do this. You may be at rock bottom, but that means the only place left to go is up. Throughout the journey, the player has learned the mechanics of the game, paralleling Madeline's difficult ascent up the mountain. Celeste demonstrates the unique ability of video games to tell stories through experience. No movie can put you in the shoes of Spider-Man, and no book can really transport you to Narnia. Video games, on the other hand, are wholly unique in their ability to really put you in the story through the use of game mechanics. 1000 Times Resist is a game that cannot be summarized or categorized simply by the sum of its parts. It is a video game, yes, that much is clear. But it's hard to get more specific than that without explaining every single detail. Developed by indie studio Sunset Visitor, 1000 Times Resist tells one of the most fascinating stories I've ever experienced. The characters feel real, dynamic, alive. Ever since completing the game, their experiences and struggles have stuck with me in a way few stories have, and it was all made by just 4 developers with a modest budget. The team lacked the experience and the resources necessary to perfectly portray the story of the game, but they leaned into these limitations to create a masterpiece of environmental storytelling. The majority of the game's story is told through dialogue with the characters, with few other game mechanics you might expect to find in a similar game. There is no combat, no leveling up, and no upgrade system. All the player can really do is walk around and talk to people. Yet, the care and time spent by the developers create an incredibly immersive experience. Every shot is carefully framed and full of emotion, despite the characters hardly moving during most of the game. The player's exploration and curiosity is rewarded time and time again with small bits of information. The game's mysteries are intriguing, compelling, drawing the player ever onward, promising answers. Themes intertwine, pulling distant scenes together. The player slowly begins to understand what is happening here and what is truly driving all the pieces in this puzzle. This freedom to explore each area and connect with the players and story in a more personal way means that the story can impact the player in a more fundamental way than could ever be achieved through any other medium. It's art. Nier Automata takes player choice to the extreme. Every choice made has a direct impact on the story of the game, for better or worse. There are dozens of optional side quests helping various characters in their own journeys. There are 26 different endings in total, each with different conclusions to the story. These can range from various satisfying endings to the true ending of the game, to simply abandoning the entire adventure in favor of a life spent fishing. Yes, really, this is one of the endings of the game. It's amazing. There are countless other games with multiple endings, and even several with significantly more than 26. What sets Nier apart from each of these other games, however, is Ending E. The final boss fight of the game is between two of the protagonists, each of which the player has controlled and learned from over the course of the story. Each has a good reason to be here at the emotional climax of the game, and each intends to get their way, even if it means the death of the other. The game gives you the choice of which one to support in one final fight against the other, a gut-wrenching decision after spending so much time with each. Upon completing the fight, however, you can choose to go back and see things through the other way around. After doing so, you can see what could have happened if you had chosen differently. The real masterpiece, though, is the credits. After seeing each version of the final fight, you unlock the true ending of the game, and the credits start to roll. And then, the credits start shooting at you. Every name in the credits is an enemy that must be destroyed in order to survive. As the credits progress, the screen begins to fill. Eventually, the player will fail and be forced to restart. The game begins to taunt you. Give up here? The choice is entirely yours. You can give up or continue onward through the seemingly impossible challenge. Miraculously, help arrives. Another player offers to join and help you finish. More and more players appear, and the music swells, triumphant. Upon completing the credits, you are congratulated by the game and given a choice. Would you like to delete your file in order to help someone else? The game reminds you of how far you've come and the convenient new things you've unlocked. You can keep it all at no cost, or choose to throw it all away to help someone else finish the game, just as others chose to help you. This entirely optional choice is hidden beneath layers of secret endings and requires multiple playthroughs of the main story, and it requires a genuine sacrifice from the player, not just the characters on the screen. No other form of media could possibly come close to this level of interactivity. Here, your choices matter.
Do you still wish to help? And you are truly, truly sure about this? Very well. In exchange for all of your data, I will convey your will to this world.
I love stories, and I love video games. They can tell stories more directly impactful and unique than those from any other form of popular media. These examples of game mechanics, environmental storytelling, and player choice are but a tiny fraction of the freedom the medium offers, with just a few of my favorite games shown here. More unique and creative games are being released every year by individuals and corporations, each with their own unique perspective on the world. These can be made simply for fun, for relaxation, or to tell a story in a new way. Their uses are just as varied as the people who made them, and I hope people take a chance to experience at least some of them for themselves. Thanks for watching.